Battle Royale is without a doubt one of the most loved genres when it comes to multiplayer games, and I'm sure we have all wanted to give it a try, but with the time to fully commit to only one game and so many options to choose from, the choice can be hard. But when it comes to FPS, PUBG and Fortnite sit as the two giants at the center of Battle Royale debates. Both games have made headlines on the front page of the internet many times and have set a high bar for the genre. One leans toward realism with its tactical gameplay and suspenseful matches, but at the same time, the constant update cycle, combined with addictive, vibrant colors and sound, stops me from switching to anything but Fortnite. As someone who has spent years playing both games, here's my take on which one's the ultimate winner. We'll be taking a look at several categories to judge both games on, declaring a winner for each, then tallying up the points to see who comes out on top.
Skill ceiling in most shooters boils down to learning better aiming and positioning, but Fortnite is a whole different ballgame. Every new season, by the time you reach higher lobbies like Champion or Elite, there is always some new technique you need to learn just to keep up. That's how insane the skill ceiling is in Fortnite. Long gone are the days when placing walls to prevent incoming fire was the hardest thing to master. Now, you must master the art of constantly editing your builds, adapting to newer techniques, and finding a way to outsmart your opponent in a span of a few seconds. Combine that with finding a window to shoot, and you get a sweaty experience no other game can deliver. On the other hand, it would be naive to say PUBG is easy. At higher ranks, it too can overwhelm you with its shooting and repositioning. But that's basically every shooter in a nutshell. Hence, Fortnite take the cake for this one.
As much as I love fiddling with the seasonally rotating variety of mobility weapons in Fortnite, like the shockwave grenade and rocket ram, when it comes to guns, I simply find no diversity in them. Even with over 100 guns in the game, it's just the same AR, shotgun, and SMG meta that I've experienced since release. With the absence of recoil or handling, it's more often just the visuals that are different and not how the gun feels. PUBG, on the other hand, offers deeper gunplay with far more weapons, each with different handling, recoil, and accuracy. Hardly any two matches feel the same to me because of the weight and impact of each one compared to Fortnite.
Let's be honest, this one is a no-brainer. When it comes to cosmetics, Fortnite is king. Every single fictional character I've ever loved, from Batman and John Wick to Deadpool and even Goku, is an equipable skin in the game. Honestly, it's amazing how Fortnite has been able to bring all of these skins and cosmetics to the game. And this variety isn't limited to just skins, as it extends to trendy emotes, same as shoes and popular cars, making the item shop a true multiverse of chaos. At the same time, I have to give props to PUBG for its eye-catching weapon skins. However, everything besides the guns in the cosmetic store has never appealed to me. The emotes feel forced and sometimes cringy, and there are rarely any costumes that tempt me to look into my wallet.
No matter how you put it, getting weekly updates will always be better than seasonal updates because of how much content is being poured into the game. No 2 weeks in Fortnite ever feel the same, due to the weekly updates that keep reinventing the game. They're no display game-changing, bringing new POIs, fresh guns, and cosmetics that keep feeding you more and more. But what I really love are the end-of-chapter updates that feature cinematic events on a server-wide scale, like the Robot vs. Monster event or the Marshmallow event, something I've only experienced in Fortnite. Of course, having experienced this kind of luxury, PUBG feels lacking. On its own, the game does fine with its seasonal updates that bring in map tweaks, new weapons, but when put up against Fortnite, it simply can't deliver the excitement, chaos, and creativity. From looking like a PS3 game on launch, Fortnite has now evolved into a breathtaking spectacle of vibrant landscapes and views. The warm colors and cartoony visuals, combined with cyber cities, castles draped in red leaves, and other beautiful ever-changing POIs, turn the game into pure eye candy.
It constantly ups itself by improving lighting, shadows, and the overall graphics, making each chapter more beautiful than the last. PUBG, however, feels stuck in the past, with visuals that haven't been able to keep up with modern standards. Don't tell me it looks good for its time, but with games were released in the same year. The game looks dull. The gritty tone and grim colors may go hand in hand with the game's grounded style, but for my personal taste, they aren't doing it any favors. Combine that with muddy textures and poor draw distances, and you get an experience that never quite immerses you.
Both games have the same match runtime, but their experience couldn't be more different. And that's mainly due to the different map sizes. When it comes to pacing, rather than an objective winner, it's mostly about what you are looking for at the moment. Personally, I'm a fan of the relatively slow-paced, strategy-favoring matches that PUBG offers, but Fortnite is an equally viable option for someone looking for more intense gameplay. In PUBG, the map is big enough for you to land somewhere solo, loot around, and not worry about dealing with an enemy, at least for a minute or two, which gives you time to strategize and figure out your positioning for the entire game. In contrast, Fortnite is all about getting to action as soon as possible.
When it comes to maps and environments, both games deliver a night and day experience. Fortnite focuses on one map that evolves, whereas PUBG offers more maps, each delivering a unique biome to explore. I'll have to pick Fortnite over PUBG on this one, plainly because playing the same old map, following the same old loot route, and seeing the same old building in PUBG can be exhausting. There is no fresh experience, and although there are several maps to play, after over 6 years without changes, all of them feel the same. That said, credits where they are due, the new destructible environments are amazing, and they open room for players to make new plays. But that's not enough to overshadow Fortnite's endlessly transforming map and dynamic environments that feature beautiful beaches, medieval castles, and tropical biomes. A rotating canvas that keeps the player's experience alive rather than static.
Those games have made a name for themselves. Without these two titles, the Battle Royale craze might have never taken off. And even right now, they have hundreds of thousands, if not millions of players flooding their servers. But when you make them face each other, it becomes clear that Fortnite is the de facto winner of this debate. From in-game changes like visuals and updates to external efforts like crossplay, the game has proven to be at the pinnacle of Battle Royale. There's no doubt that PUBG came in as a strong contender in the genre, but unfortunately it lost its charm over the years. The graphics and static style were suited more for the 2018 to 2020 style of Battle Royale, but as time passed, more innovative titles started taking the limelight. In this transition from the two, only Fortnite could keep up.